Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. Sorry we're late, but we just got back in. Anyway, welcome to another spectacular and very late edition of Steve's Sporty Balls. I am the aforementioned Steve the Backsman Baxley, and we're glad to be here. We're glad to be anywhere. Okay, we've done all the crazy intros that we need to do. Um, mm, let's give you some little sportscast, shall we? Okay. The combine is all over. So who came out of this alive? I gotta tell you what a show the prospects did out at the 2024 NFL Combine in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have a new record holder in the marquee event, the 40-yard dash, who is Xavier Worthy. We witnessed a 340-pound offensive lineman have a 9'3" in broad jump, Amarius Mims, and watched Texas Tech safety Tyler Owens nearly tie Brian Jones' record 12'3" broad jump, which was previously deemed as untouchable. Mm-hmm. The combine has buzz generating powers. So if you're pumped about this draft class now, I get it. Especially quarterbacks, receivers, and offensive tackles. I mean, I am in awe of the combine. But as you come down from your combine induced high, it is vital to ask, are the obscure combine winners actually good prospects? Let's take a look at the 10 sleepers who stood out. Brandon Fisk, defensive tackle, Florida State. Notable workout figures: 40-yard dash, 4.75, first among DTs. 10-yard split, 1.68. Vertical jump, 33.5. He was dead on target. By the way, 10-yard split, he was third. Broad jump, 9.9, he was first. Short shuttle, 4.37, he was first. Is he good? He is sweet. He is good. He is sweet, a football player for some team out there. He is projected to go late first round, mid second round. This 24-year-old has an amazing speed, jump, leap, and everything else. He could wind up to be someone's ticket to that Super Bowl. Tanner Bortolini, offensive, the OC of Wisconsin. Notable workout figures: 40-yard dash, 4.94 seconds. He's second amongst the offensive line. 10-yard split, 1.69, which places him third. Short shuttle, 4.28, first. Three cone, 7.16, also first. Not good. Should go in the rounds 5 or 6. Bortolini is a work in progress. He is widely inconsistent. The movement skills jump off the film, but he has had trouble sticking to blocks. There are far too many instances where Bortolini is easily pushed off, balanced by a pass rush counter. The same is true when he's deployed on a combo block. For every textbook climb to the second level, there's a play where he's literally too quick to get there and can't find anyone, and his anchor needs to improve. Bortolini's freaky workout will likely get him drafted Not ready to be a year one starter as many drafted centers are. Theo Johnson, tight end for Penn State. He rated second among tight ends at 40-yard dash with 4.57. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Matt and Eddie. How y'all doing? 10-yard split. He placed third with 1.55. Vertical jump, 39.5 inches. He placed second. Broad jump, 10.5 seconds, or 10.5. He placed second, or 10 feet, 5 inches. Second short shuttle, first at 419. If you squint, he's good. Other than that, well, he is projected to go either the third or fourth round. Now, he has moments on film, moments where you realize his potential. You think, whoa, how did a tight end that big do that? Now, those occasions don't happen very often. Some would even say um, in between each wild play, there's surprisingly ineffective blocking at nearly 6'6" and 260 pounds. After the catch, maybe because he's so large, there's not enough. There's not much Johnson can do to make defenders miss, and he's not a Rob Gronkowski type, dragging defenders down the field. And then he says he's doing well. Well, I'm doing my best. But as his combine indicates, he may be able to free himself from coverage at the next level, which is a real challenge for the vast majority of tight ends in what is a light tight end class after Brock Bowers. The raw but upside-based prospect from Penn State could go as early as late in day number 2. And we'll give you one more little reminder. I mean, here's some others. We gave you the big 2, I believe. Clemson defensive tackle Ruke Horthor. He's good. He should go in either the second or third round. Edufan Ulofoshio, linebacker Washington, pretty good. Could go in round 3 or 5. Max Melton, quarterback of Rutgers, could easily see himself going maybe round 3 or 4. Malik Washington, wide receiver of Virginia, he's good. Maybe round 2 to 4, but he's got promise. Isaac Gurendo, running back Louisville. He's as a specialist, he's good. Other than that, round 5 or 6. Frank Crum, offensive line in Wyoming. He is not that good, but he's not that bad either. The best he can do is round 6 or 7. Ben Sinnott, tight end, Kansas State. He's good. He could go in the second round. And that, ladies and germs, is that. There we go. Now then, we are sorry we're a little late. If you'll forgive me for a moment, we'll add this on to our regular little infusion of fun and merriment, which is known as Steve's Sporty Balls. If you'll excuse me for a moment, let me go get a little drink. We'll get the rest of the show started. Forgive me for a few moments. Oh boy. Okay, let's. All right. Mm. Oh. Mm. Mm. All good. Also, how's the studio looking so far? Uh, Studio is coming along nicely. Um, Still got more to pick up, but we should be in by maybe next week. Okay. In the National Football League, we go for our NFL report. That's right. There were a lot of people who got a shout out during Jason Kelsey's retirement press conference on Monday, and it's safe to say that if Nick Foles was watching, he'll probably remember the shout out he got for the rest of his life. The former Eagles quarterback got a hilariously inappropriate shout out from Kelsey, and instead of trying to explain what he said, let's just cut to the chase. Quote, I'll never forget Nick Foles having the game of his life on the biggest stage possible and the biggest on the team going up to Doug Peterson and asking for the Philly special. Kelsey said, and Doug Peterson having the biggest balls in the stadium to say, yeah, let's do it. Foles hasn't played in a single NFL snap in 14 months, and yet his legend somehow continues to grow. Kelsey could have left out the second part of his comment, and the story still would have made sense. But Kelsey's not someone who ever worries about censoring himself. The retiring Eagles center clearly has a lot of respect for Foles for leading Philadelphia to its first and only Super Bowl win in franchise history. The retiring Eagles center clearly has a lot of respect for Foles for leading Philadelphia to its first and only Super Bowl win in franchise history. The win came over the Patriots in the Super Bowl 52, and a big reason it happened is because Foles called for the Philly special on a 4th and goal play just before halftime. Ooh, yes, indeed. Uh, Peterson ended up approving the play, which ended with Trey Burton throwing a 1-yard score to Foles, who would go on to win Super Bowl MVP following a Philly 41-33 win over the Patriots. Now, based on the speech Kelsey gave at the Super Bowl parade following the Phillies win, no one should be shocked about the shout-out that he gave to Foles. If you ever want to go see the parade speech again, it's fascinating and weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah, once we get the studio up and running, we'll do the Twitch. We'll have our Twitch show. Kelsey's retirement press conference lasted for nearly 45 minutes. If you want the lowdown on what he had to say, be sure to check out the full story at cbssports.com with some reaction from around the NFL. The 36-year-old center announced his retirement on Monday after 13 NFL seasons. Ooh. Okay, let's keep going with a little bit more sports. We're on until about 12:30. We may extend because we were on a little late, but there we go. Can we? Thank you very much, Dobalieski. Let's see here. We can find the golf. We can find everything. Well, before we go to the golf, let's keep going on our merry little Newsenheimers. John Donaldson, a 3-time All-Star third baseman and the winner of the 2015 American League Most Valuable Player Award, announced his retirement on Monday during an appearance on Sean Casey's The Bears Office podcast. Quote, It's sad because I'll not be able to go out there and play the game I loved anymore. It's also a very happy time that I get to be around the family and kind of take that next chapter in life. The 38-year-old Donaldson appeared in parts of 13 big league seasons and suited up for 7 different clubs. He batted 261, 358, 489 with 279 home runs and 46.8 wins above replacement. According to Baseball References calculations, for context, the average third baseman in the Hall of Fame tallied 69.4 career wins above replacement. Donaldson did enjoy a brilliant peak from 2013 to 2016. He averaged more than 7 WAR and 33 home runs per season while batting 284, 375, and 518. Hmm. Hmm. As previously noted, he won the 2015 AL MVP award with Toronto and made 3 All-Star games. He was also a 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner and received MVP consideration on 5 total occasions. For as productive as Nelson was at the peak of his powers, he was no stranger to moving around. He spent 4 seasons each with the Oakland Athletics, the Toronto Blue Jays, as well as 2 seasons with the Minnesota Twins, the New York Yankees, and a season or less with the Atlanta Braves, Cleveland Guardians, and Milwaukee Brewers. Now, there's no way to quantify such a thing, but anecdotally, Donaldson helped usher in a new era of hitting strategy. His embrace of a high leg kick and lifting the ball frequently made him stand out a decade ago. Now, those traits have become very much so commonplace. On a less flattering note, the waning days of Donaldson's career might be more remembered for the controversial spat he initiated during the 2022 season when he called Tim Anderson as Jackie, a reference to Jackie Robinson, the trailblazer who integrated Major League Baseball during the 1947 season with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Donaldson was suspended for a game and fined for that incident. Okay, can we? Yeah, let's. Come on. Come on. Thank you. We can't move the screenage there. Mm, mm. Oh, that felt so good. Okay. Major League Baseball, give you a little bit of preview of what opening day looks like. Opening day is around the corner, and it smells like hope for some teams, and we'll try again for others. After a plodding off-season, real baseball is almost here. At least a handful of teams have October in their sights already. Will the Dodgers super team meet all expectations and run away with the NL West, or be just a contentious flop? Will the Yankees, Mets, and Cardinals and Padres rebound from disappointing 2023 seasons? What about the reigning champion Rangers and runner-up Diamondbacks? Well, the Diamondbacks, well, most of the previews we're going to be showing will be coming soon. For the Red Sox, can Breslow turn things around? Possibly. Mm-hmm. We'll find out. We'll be doing our countdown with some of the teams that starts tomorrow here on the Sporty Balls. Alrighty, so please, above all, enjoy, embrace. And we are at 12:01 a.m., which means we are now in officially Tuesday. Okay, before we even start off, um, let's get over to one thing we love about sports, and that is the biggest kahuna in the free world. We go, oops, no, we don't want Women's History Month. Sorry about that, folks. Uh, let's check in what's coming up, down, and all the way around. That is awful announcing. That's right. Let's get you some sports uh, excitement, as it were, and that is okay. Let's go to this and let's give you the story. The PGA Tour has received a significant outside investment recently, particularly in a January round led by Strategic Sports Group. That investment included the Boston Red Sox, Pittsburgh Penguins, Liverpool parent Fenway Sports Group, New York Mets owner Steve Cohen, Chicago Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts, Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank, and more. But as per a New York Times report, the organization has now received significant additional investment from prominent cultural figures and athletes, including musician Drake and LA Laker forward LeBron James. Now, what wasn't reported then was that several powerful people in sports, music, and entertainment have also invested personally. Two names likely to draw attention, of course, are the two we mentioned: LeBron James and the rapper Drake. The investors are bringing more money. FSG and fellow backers, including the billionaires Steve Cohen, Arthur Blank, and Mark Lazary, believe they can help reinvigorate the sport, particularly as the value of media rights soars. James and Drake are committing additional capital as strategic investors and are expected to use their marketing power to help the tour broaden its audience. James and the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan were at the home of Tom Warner, FSG's chairman, recently discussing just that deal book. Here's fans may see the stars around the greens, perhaps in the same way Drake is a frequent courtside presence at Raptor games. Golf can be so much better than sport, Drake said in a statement to Deal Book. I remember some of my best childhood memories was being on the golf course with my uncle. It's one thing to invest in a team, but to help reimagine one of the biggest leagues in the world is an incredible opportunity, and I'm excited to be a part of it. It's certainly not clear how much actual value these celebrity investments will add to the PGA Tour. These are definitely prominent figures with a significant previous sports deal, so their involvement is worth noting. We'll see how beneficial that winds up for the PGA Tour as the weeks, months continue. Mhm. Jacksonville Jaguars defensive tackle Folorunso Fatukazi celebrated his 29th birthday Monday, and it's a day he'll never forget. The Jaguars honored Fatukazi with a post on on TwitX, or X as it is really called, late Monday morning. A cheerful "Happy Birthday" 94 with a party emoji. 2 hours later, an ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler interrupted the party with some bad news. The Jaguars just released him. The move saved $3.5 million on the cap. You can't make this stuff up. No one can. It's a terrible look for the Jags, first for releasing Fatakazi on his birthday, and secondly for a terrible juxtaposition of birthday wishes versus you've been released news. As a rule, those making player personnel decisions aren't looking at a player's birth dates before making a move. Likewise, those with keys to a team's social media account generally don't have insight into personal decisions. So perhaps this a situation was unavoidable. The NFL world seems to think the Jaguars could do better, and so personally do we. Hmm. Let's keep going. And we join with all of football fandom. Um, a little sad news here on the old Sporty Ball show. The sad news, of course, the passing of a legend. And he is truly a legend. I speak of none other than Chris Mortensen. It was a shock to hear on Sunday that longtime NFL insider Chris Mortensen had passed away at the age of 72. Mortensen was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2016, but he continued to break stories, often appearing together with Adam Schefter on NFL Sunday Countdown and Monday Night Countdown. Last year, Mortensen cut back on his appearances. However, he was still reaching out to friends and colleagues, including NFL Network draft analyst Daniel Jeremiah, until the, uh, the day before he died. Tributes came from all over the sports world to Mort, but especially from those who had worked with him at ESPN. Mortensen had long been a valued resource at ESPN, and the tributes to him on social media from his colleagues, current and past ESPNers, show his influence at the network. Every single tribute to Mort is the same: sincerity, decency, kindness, professionalism, and humanity of the man is referenced by every team, player, and colleague. Believe them all when I say Chris Mortensen is not your ordinary NFL insider. He had one hell of a wonderful soul. Um, Kenny Mayne's description of Mort in a tweet: "The blessings for Mort having here with us is that the list is long of people who felt they had a unique relationship with him. It's because his kindness was unending, exemplified thus through a sincere interest in knowing what was going on in our lives." Maine's description of Mort, saying that his kindness was unending, exemplifies best through his sincere interest in knowing what was going on in our lives, gives you an idea that there was more to the reporter you saw on NFL Countdown and ESPN's countless other NFL programs. Andrea Kramer, whose work spans NFL films, NBC Sunday Night Football, HBO's Real Sport, as well as ESPN, had this to say on X. Just saw the news about Mort, and an incredible, profound sadness overcame me. He was a decades-long friend and someone for whom I had total admiration as a professional and love and respect as a wonderful person. My deepest condolences to Mickey and Alex and so many he impacted. Kramer mentioned that Mort was a decades-long friend and someone from whom I had total admiration as a professional and love and respect as a wonderful person. Hannah Storm's ESPN tenure had her interacting with Mortensen on numerous occasions on SportsCenter as well as on other shows. She also was sad to hear about Mortensen's death. Ed Werder on X: "You cannot have been a better friend, role model, or mentor. I love and miss you already. My sympathies to his wife Mickey and son Alex." Steve Levy: "The more tributes are all nearly identical. That's how you know they're true. He led the league in being a great human every season. This is so upsetting on every level." As a fan of professional football, I would usually watch ESPN just to hear Mort This is here the man called Mort. Breaking news story, breaking NFL report, along with his friend and colleague Adam Schefter and many others. They were the go to folks every Sunday morning and into the night. Mort was one of the best, and the Angels have a new member. And Mort truly is the best. James Andrew Miller, the co-author of These Guys Have All the Fun Inside the World of ESPN, talked with Mortensen for the book. He told our friends at Awful Announcing that Chris was a pioneer, helping usher both ESPN and the NFL into the modern era, and somehow he did it without jealousy of others and with tons of support for colleagues and friends. The sports world was a much better place with him in it. And from Ryan, it's hard to fathom let's try it again. It's hard to fathom how much of the old ESPN guard I used to lay on the couch and watch hours of SportsCenter reruns of is no longer with us. Chris Mortensen, John Saunders, Pedro Gomez, John Clayton, Dick Schaap, and Stuart Scott. Rest in paradise to them all. It is truly the end of an era, the passing of Chris Mortensen. And from all of us, we are all the wiser, for I've enjoyed his company for as long as we had him. We'll take a break, be back with scores after this. And welcome back. Anyway, Skull. Good stuff. Fox CEO Lachlan Murdoch is very optimistic about the sports streaming joint venture. As he spoke to at the Morgan Stanley Technologies Media and Telecom Conference on Monday, unsurprisingly, the sports streaming joint venture between Fox, ESPN, and Warner Brothers Discovery was a popular topic. Per the folks at Deadline, Murdoch said that Fox is aiming for 5 million subscribers for its service over its first 5 years. He also called it a very good business for us. Murdoch also doesn't seem all that concerned about any regulatory pressure, despite a lawsuit from Fubo. CEO David Gandler has called the three companies a sports cartel multiple times. The joint venture was also compared to existing VMVPDs like YouTube TV by Murdoch. Various experts have also cast doubt on Fubo's lawsuit and any antitrust concerns related to the joint venture. This appears to be Fox's lone venture into direct-to-consumer streaming, continuing the company's stance for years. Murdoch said other companies have bled out from launching their own service, with billions of dollars in losses related to streaming content hitting multiple companies over the years. Given the woes experienced by Disney, NBC, Paramount, and Warner Brothers Discovery related to their streaming products, it proved to be the smartest strategy for Fox. We will let you know how it all goes down. We will continue to cover this story. Let's see here. What else we got? The Formula One's governing body, the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, is facing an ongoing investigation following allegations of interference in the 2023 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Consequently, a cloud of suspicion now hovers over the organization's leadership, headed by President Mohammed bin Sulayem. That's because of an ongoing investigation that stems from accusations made by a whistleblower inside FIA, asserting that bin Sulayem is tampered with the outcome of that race. According to BBC Sport, an FIA compliance officer's report submitted to the organization's ethics committee alleges that Ben Sulayem attempted to influence the outcome of a penalty issued to Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso. And hello, Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU. The whistleblower claims the FIA president contacted Sheikh Abdullah, a high-ranking FIA official at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and urged Alonso's penalty to be reversed. After finishing third in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Alonso initially received a 10-second penalty due to his team allegedly working on his car during his initial 5-second penalty for a grid infraction. This dropped him to fourth place. However, the 10-second penalty was later overturned, which seemingly sparked an investigation of potential external influence on the decision. The initial penalty stemmed from a rule regarding car service during time penalties, triggered by video footage showing the rear jack briefly touching the car before the 5 seconds were up. BBC Sports report says at the time, the justification given by the stewards for overturning the decision referred to a discussion that had taken place between the F1 teams and the FIA on the subject of working on cars while serving a penalty in the pits. The right of review decision said, quote, "We concluded that there was no clear agreement, as was suggested to the stewards previously, that could be relied upon to determine that parties had agreed that a jack touching a car would amount to working on the car. At the time, Article 54.4c of the sporting regulation said, quote, while a car is stationary in the pit lane as a result of incurring a penalty in accordance with Articles 54.3a or 54.3b above, it may not be worked on until the car has been stationary for the duration of the penalty. After the race and following the Alonso situation, an additional sentence was added, quote, in this context, touching a car or driver by hand or tools or equipment will all constitute working. End quote. Had the sentence been placed at the time, there would have been no question that the stewards had made the right initial decision. BBC Sports reports that the Ethics Committee is expected to complete its investigation and issue its report within 4 to 6 weeks. Now, normally, league chief executives are the ones ensuring ensuring the rules are followed and the game is played fair. So it's utterly bizarre to see the FIA president, the very person responsible for Formula One's integrity, being investigated for potentially messing with a race outcome. The situation is relatively unheard of. If the allegations hold true, it would be a massive blow to the sport's credibility, and the outcome could have significant ramifications for sports' future. Speaking of ramifications, it's time for us to do the scoreboard. We got other sports reports, but because we went on a little late, we're going to have them tomorrow. So let's get ready to rumble with the scoreboard. Okay, let's give you the scoreboard, give you everything we can as we tap dance into soccer coverage from Monday. Let's go to it, Monsieur Pruitt. In the Premier League, in the Premier League, Arsenal defeated Sheffield United 6-0 in La Liga in Spain. Osasuna defeated Deportivo Alaves 1-0. In Series A, Italia, Inter defeated Genoa 2-1. In Super League action in Turkey, it was Adana Demirspor defeating Fatih Karagümrük 1-0. Alanyaspor defeated Trabzonspor by a score of 3-1, and Antalyaspor defeated Gaziantep 1-0. And there's some other scores. And of course, you want to see all the scores because Lord knows we won't be able to finish everything up. We invite you to go to livescore.com/EN for English /. Let's see here. Do we have any MLS action from last night? Do we have anything from last? Oh yeah, we've been doing last night's scoreboard. Okay, we go from soccer to, of course, the NHL tonight, and here we go. Columbus Blue Jackets defeated the Vegas Golden Knights 6-3. Florida Panthers over the New York Rangers 4-2. St. Louis Blues over the Philadelphia Flyers 2-1. Boston Bruins over the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-1. Colorado Avalanche over the Chicago Blackhawks 5-0. And the Seattle Kraken defeated the Calgary Flames 4-2. In the AHL, it was Cleveland Monsters 5, Grand Rapids Griffins 3. In the third period right now, it's the San Diego Gulls 4, Bakersfield Condors 3. There was no action north of the border with the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, the OHL, or the WHL. Hey, Lugs. Oh, I feel like crud. LDG, I'm with you on that. My problem is I lost my phone, and I think it is in the dip underneath the front of the underneath the front seat of the car. So I'm going to be it's going to be a very, very fun day tomorrow. I will tell you that immensely. Okay, let's get to more scores. I hope you get to feeling better, LDG. I'm going to try to appear on Piper's Effort Show, next edition of her Effort Show. Try. Wish me luck on that. Anyway, let's get to some scores. And by that, I mean, we got scores. Effed show? Yeah. Matt, there's a wild show here on YouTube. I do believe it's on Wednesday nights. It's called the F It Show. That's F It. Yeah, I'll pipe it in here. Oops, wait down here. Oh, I forgot. I gotta do it here. And it's hosted by my favorite gal, Piper. Anyway, let's get you some NCAA men's basketball and a few other little scores before we take our